Hello.
Hi there, how you doing?
Good. I did all the updates you sent me. I
Oh,
had
thank you.
some issues converting PDFs to JPEGs, but I figured it out. I just had to pay to upgrade my Adobe. Like I didn't understand why my Adobe was doing it, but
Okay.
it's fine. I did it. There must be a way to upload them as PDFs. I just maybe Olivia.
Yeah, there's a problem with those well, the PDFs, like if you have links in a document, the PDF doesn't keep the links. And so I guess, and I don't think JPEG does either. There's some way to make it work, but I think it's if you save it as for use online rather than for printing, when you save a Word document, sometimes you have a choice of best for printing or best for online. Maybe then it preserves the links. I haven't really figured it out yet either.
How to attach them as PDFs, because when I try to attach them as PDFs, Wix doesn't let me, but I'm probably doing something wrong.
Oh, okay. I think I've uploaded PDFs before, but yeah, there's some vagaries in there that I don't get into. There's some mysteries. Yeah. So how are you doing on, oops, let me open, let people in, admit.
Everyone has power and.
Yeah, so how did you fare during the storm?
I was in New York, so we had a lot of snow, but no loss of power or anything.
Good.
But our house in Wellfleet definitely lost power, but we have a generator, so it wasn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we only, oh look at your little puppy. I haven't seen, yeah, who's this?
This is Willow.
Willow.
And over here is Corbin.
Oh, you have two.
I have three. And then.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Three. Wow.
It's a rescue problem. You end up saying yes to everyone.
I know. Are they all from local shelter or?
They're actually all from Houston.
Ah.
A rescue.
Hi there, Nancy and Carol.
Hey, Carol. Hi, Olivia.
Okay, I think we've got everybody admitted. Hi there, Lydia.
Hey there, how's everyone doing?
Doing well. I think we have Gary Senegal from Eastham dialing in, and Chris said she was going to be in a car, so she would try to listen in. So why don't we get started? This is the Wellfleet Recycling Committee meeting, February 1st, 2022. Does anybody have any announcements or introductions? Okay, we'll go directly. Has anyone heard anything from, there's Jane, from Mike? I'm sure he's busy out plowing roads like everybody else at the DPW. So
I was just over at the transfer station and he was there.
Oh, he was, okay. Thank you for that, Chris. Okay, anything that you'd like to report, Carol?
I've been racking my brains, but
nothing going on. Okay.
Particular, there are some things in process, but nothing particular to report.
Alrighty. So the annual town meeting, I think we sent around the final draft and I submitted it yesterday. And I forgot to check calendar notes, but I know that one of them is about our budget for 2023. So I did ask Lisa, the interim accountant, to verify that we had the same operating budget next year as we did this year, which was $1,500. And she believes so, but she's going to confirm with the right person. So we'll hear back on that. And then, the other thing this time of year is, and it might even be too late, is any petition articles that we want to do. one thing that I wanted to mention again was a question I'd sent out about the select board or Ryan Curley's article on banning all single-use plastic bottles, which is great. I was just questioning using the same minimum or the same size as the water bottles, which is less than a gallon, are banned. And if other kinds of water bottles are banned for beverages, like a milk carton less than a gallon, juice less than a gallon. So I was a little concerned about that because obviously most people buy, or a lot of people buy things usually less than a gallon if it's not water. So I was just wondering if anybody had any input on that or any suggestion we should make.
I think we should look at the article and or what Ryan sent out, just to look at the language, because there's something about carbonated things or non-alcoholic beverages. So
yeah, he basically just took the water bottle one and added and beverage bottles. So I don't have that handy. Do you, Lydia?
Let me see if I can.
Did something come directly from Ryan, or I can't remember?
No, I think it was on a select board agenda, and so I sent the PDF. I think the meeting packet item.
Okay.
One is that would really hurt the Wellfleet marketplace, like probably deeply hurt the Wellfleet marketplace.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I was Googling around to see if there were other bans on all less than a gallon beverage bottles. I couldn't see anything. I was talking to Jill Talladay at Care for the Cape and Islands, and she said that Yarmouth passed the municipal ban for all beverage bottles, but that was just the municipal, so that let me let Jaya in. And I couldn't really find anything online about examples, but there must be towns that already have that. And maybe there's some groups that we can, I look at the plastic, there's a project at Bennington, I think, plastic something project, but they didn't have any resources regarding legislation for beverage bottle sizes. So that's something that needs to be looked at. Does anybody have any suggestions or ways we can get some more information? Or
Well, it says it shall be unlawful to sell bottled non-alcoholic beverages in single-use plastic bottles of less than 1 gallon.
right.
So you think that that's plastic, so it wouldn't affect the cartons because cartons aren't plastic.
You mean like a milk carton rather than a plastic bottle carton? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that's considered a carton is a paper and with a plastic liner, but it's not considered a plastic bottle.
Right.
So other things that it would affect would be, I guess, juice and the juice drinks, and that I thought was part of what some towns were doing. It would be like.
But if you bring juice home for home use, it's going to be less than a gallon usually. Rare cases that it's a gallon of juice. They're usually, and like when you buy orange juice in plastic, it's a quart or.
Yeah, like the apple cider, all those like nice, like expensive, fresh-ish like citrus juices that the marketplace has.
Mm-hmm.
Are those often in plastic or are they in glass? So,
they're in plastic. They're like fresh orange and grapefruit. They're like
cider as well.
Cider,
Cider, yeah. The only place I've seen cartons is an alternative for milk.
So maybe we should ask Ryan about his thinking behind this and send him a letter or an email with a list of things that would be affected. And maybe there's another way to, it would have to be amended at town meeting probably.
So do you know if the draft warrant is already out?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I looked at one that was online, but it didn't have any of the budget information I was looking for just to see what our budget was, but at least I'll get back to it.
Yeah, I can find out about the warrant and we can draft a.
And do you think like Sierra Club or what other organizations have, been leading the effort on?
Well, there's 5 Gyres. There's, I don't think the Conservation Law Foundation, I think, is mostly working on bottle bill issues rather than.
Right. Yeah, I was just looking for some suggestions or other towns that have those, that have
Yeah.
beverage.
It's probably worth Googling it and maybe.
Yeah, I
Nantucket.
did. I didn't find anything, but that doesn't mean it's not there.
Maybe. I think
And do you think
That's a good point.
by single use, do they mean single serving?
Huh?
Like more like the 20 ounce or
Yeah.
12 ounce that you would
Mhm.
buy a 6-pack of and drinking, because
Right.
most of us, have a half gallon of milk or juice and it lasts a
Right.
week too. So
Yeah, that's really the point, is that,
the language
if we
does.
don't have a definition of single use in the case of, non-water beverages, then it would default to that, less than a gallon. But if we add some language saying, and I looked, online for the various normal sizes of juice that it comes in, and there's, 32, sometimes 64 ounces, but I can't remember how many ounces a gallon is. I had it all written down on a scrap of paper that of course disappeared.
54.
54 is pretty common, yeah. Hi there, Gary, welcome. Hi, Jaya.
Hi.
128 ounces is a gallon.
128, yeah. So I didn't see anything bigger than, usually 64 ounces for juice or. So that's certainly an option. So any suggestions that people have or any research they do, please send it to Wellfleet Recycles. And I think if we contact Ryan, we should have a suggestion if possible. Maybe defining single serve.
What about something like banning it when there's an alternative? So like milk would be an example, right? Like milk comes in cartons, so
Okay,
not selling the plastic or things that can,
right.
comparable brands. I know that would be complicated, but it would give the businesses.
Yeah. The thing about when there's not an alternative is that, the plastic is probably a better choice for milk because the carton you just have to throw away in our area. And at least the plastic is a highly desirable for recycling.
The plastic, though, if you think about it from the point of production to the end, it's really not better than alternatives.
Than carton.
Yeah, a lot of the factories are based in communities that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, there's a whole
environmental justice issue.
Yeah.
I think we know that at this point, and that so little of it actually does get recycled.
Mm-hmm. So Olivia, so the suggestion was to potentially put language in saying that upwards of what, more than 20 ounces or something, or less than 20 ounces. We have to put some kind of limit in there if we want to put a limit of the size, or define single serve as something that one person would drink.
Maybe it's like a 12-ounce can of Coke or something that size.
Yeah, they go up to, yeah, that's why I was thinking 20. Sometimes there's like 20-ounce bottles of Coke.
Is the language single serve or is it single-use plastic?
Single use.
I think it's single use.
Single use.
So that's different than single serve.
It
Right.
is.
Yeah, I
is.
think single serve is a little confusing. I think single-use plastic is a better language for that.
Yeah, it's single use. It's drink and toss.
Yeah. So do you think, but if we were to say, put a less than a gallon limit on to define single use, then would we do that for water and other beverages, or just?
How about less than a quart? Less than a gallon. That means the gallons are all okay. But I would
Less than a quart makes a lot more sense, right? Because that would leave cider.
I think less than a quart. Yeah. Less than a quart.
And do you mean for all beverages or to lower it for water too?
I would say all beverages.
I would also, I think doing that for all beverages, and it's just sort of a step in the right direction, and then maybe we can increase it at a later time.
Yeah. It keeps it less all split up and fewer chances to, you know, play with the wording and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
To begin with, at least, go in with
Okay.
that. Less than a quart.
Anybody else have some feelings about that? Or comments? What do you think, Lydia?
I'd like to know a little bit more about his thinking behind this. Maybe the thing to do would be to watch the video from the meeting, which was, let's see here. This was a select board meeting where they brought this up.
Yeah.
And
Actually may have it. I downloaded it to look at it, maybe on my desktop.
it was a January 4th meeting.
Okay.
And so you can go to YouTube, Wellfleet Town Media, and find it that way, or go to the town website and find it there, the link on the calendar day.
Is that something you'd be willing to look into and talk to
Yeah.
Ryan
yeah,
about?
curious.
Yeah.
What's that?
Is that something that you'd be willing to look into and then
Sure.
talk to Ryan and see what his thinking was?
Mm-hmm.
That would be
Yes.
great. The court sounds reasonable to me. And, you know, I don't know if like the marketplace sells water bottles that are a half gallon, or does it usually go to a gallon?
There's liters, so you can buy, you know, kind of water from overseas in liters and whatnot.
Right. But that's about the same as a
They're
quart.
typically
isn't it?
not plastic, they're going to be in glass, I think. Although,
Right, those would be glass. Yeah, there's some that come in. Anyway, so, okay, well, that would be great if you could figure that out, Lydia, and I can try to do a little bit more research on what other towns have done. And Lydia will talk to Ryan.
maybe Concord, the town of Concord, they often go.
And Nantucket was a good suggestion because they have like a very broad plastic ban in effect. And they've worked with Stop and Shop on Nantucket to figure out how to implement that and what alternatives are. So I can look into that. They presented it at a Care for the Cape and Islands webinar, so I can find their contact info.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
anything else on that topic? Mass Dep, I think we have everybody admitted here. Yep, nobody waiting. So that would be Carrie. And Public Works refill stations, no progress on that. And I'm not sure, you know, what we should attempt to do, if anything, at this point, rather than waiting for the funding that comes in with fiscal year 23, and then just work with Jay on how to proceed.
I think that's wise. I think also there's a town meeting. There's still a request at town meeting for funding to do installation of some of these. Right.
You're saying that we could request at town meeting?
I think that that's already something that Jay's doing, isn't it?
Yes, that's what I mean. So that, so it's in his budget and it was
Yeah.
approved by the select board. So that would come in July 1st.
Well, one
which is
thing
a
I
little-
noticed,
A little late for this season, but
I noticed in Provincetown the other day, right on the water, there's a new park. It used to be a parking lot,
right.
and it's a wonderful space.
Mhm.
And it was funded partly by the town and then also by a state group called the state of Massachusetts, it's park, P-A-R-C. So I wonder, that might be something to look into in case there's additional grant money for pocket parks or parks that have water stations in them. It'd be nice.
And what's the organization called? P-A-R-C?
P-A-R-C. It's probably an acronym for something, but it's
Probably, yeah.
Mass.
Do you
Mass
know,
Park.
I guess that's something that we could ask Sherry or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Sherry Prada at the DPW in Provincetown.
Okay, I'll put that down as an action item for me. Anything on the swap shop, new building? I haven't heard anything, seen anything email wise from Roland. I don't know if he got in touch with the building inspector or Nancy, was it you saying they were doing some repair there when you were volunteering?
One man replaced the door,
Oh,
front door, that was it. And, you know, I imagine it was all very grassroots and
yes.
the free door and
Uh-huh.
volunteer who did that.
I see.
I have
Okay.
a question just about swap shop stuff. Do they accept holiday stuff still or not accepting any holiday stuff?
There
Like
is
Christmas glasses and whatnot.
there is no rule that they're not. You
Okay.
know, and it kind of depends on who's there and you know, and what it is.
Okay.
But if it's
And
glass,
Swap Shop has,
they take
Yeah.
it.
I think generally they would rather not have seasonal stuff hanging around till the next holiday, but
yeah.
I think it would be kind for all of us that use it to be selective about what and when we bring things.
right.
Yeah.
It's the stuff from the AIM thrift shop that we weren't able to sell over the couple of holiday seasons. So
Right.
we have quite a few Christmas glasses if anybody's
Oh.
interested.
But you know, I'm also always surprised at what people do take. So
Uh-huh.
if someone is thinking ahead for the next season and sees
Sure.
something that was good enough to be in the AIM thrift shop, you know, they might scoop it up.
That's a good
Okay.
point, Nancy.
Good point.
Okay, on to waste reduction, local events. We had the MLK beach cleanup. Nancy and I went out there, even though it was not very good weather. But
It was terrible weather.
it was terrible weather, but you know, we just dressed for the weather and it was really very pleasant once we got out there. I mean, there was a good sized group. I think there were like 12 of us. They were like something like that. They took a nice photo of the group and we went down until, you know, there wasn't enough beach left to go further towards Great Island, but they reported that we got about 1,000 pounds of debris. And the best part of it was that the AmeriCorps volunteers took all of it back to sort and enter into ocean swell. So we were like, thank heavens, we're not standing out here for 2 hours sorting and cataloging everything. So that was a really nice event. Anything you want to add, Nancy?
No, but we did see the sort of shrinking coastline there for sure. You know, even though they're 1,000 pounds, it's I feel like the ocean has more debris these days than Duck Harbor. But I don't know if we had gone sort of into where the spillover is, if there's probably stuff way back in there now because of that. And
I mean, it went this, you know, the astronomical high tide go way back to the dune now, where the node is, you know, where it sticks out the furthest and gets the most direct wind. So I was back in there to get all the normal stuff that comes in on the super high tides. But I didn't see any real big things, but it's winter too. So there's a lot more there in the active boating season.
Where was that you were walking from?
We went from Duck Harbor south towards Great Island.
Okay.
And so on plastic reduction initiatives, the water ban, we talked about the size of the bylaw change. The other thing about the Google map. Since Jill Dalloway was there at the beach cleanup, we talked about whether she should put a link and information on her website to Take Care Cape Cod. And I thought that was a fine idea. She also is trying to use her Take Care Cape Cod website as sort of more of a bulletin board for plastic reduction efforts on the Cape, and thought that the recycling committee would be a good link to have in there. There would be a link to our website, and we could announce any events or anything going on. So we could put something in there for, Cape Cod Recycles, or Water Cape Cod, whatever it is, Refill Cape Cod. So that maybe other towns would see that and become interested. So I just wanted to check with everybody what they thought of that.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Sounds
great
good.
idea.
Okay. So she sent a follow-up email asking, and I told her we'd mention it at the meeting already. And then on the map also, did we send out to everybody a copy of the Discovery Map ad that is going in? If not, I'll send it again. So hopefully you've all heard about this ad that Discovery Map is going to be put in with, is putting in the Wellfleet Eastham Discovery Map that will have a QR code to go to the Google Map for refill stations. And I have to add, there were 4 more National Park Service ones added. And then we had talked to Gary at one of our last Refill Cape Cod meetings about whether we should take out anything that hasn't been installed yet before summer, so that it's not misleading to people. So showing this long list of not installed water stations. So I don't know how Eastham is doing on their installations, or.
It's all on hold until the spring.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
It's all on hold. Yep.
So maybe we should readdress that in spring and decide how we want to clean it up before the season.
Oh.
But I guess maybe we should take out the Wellfleet ones that are on
I
there.
think so.
You think so? Okay, we'll do
Yeah,
that.
just because they could steer people there and they
Right.
may not read the fine print.
Yeah. So that
Yeah,
will.
that would be a big disappointment.
Yeah.
That's a good
I mean,
idea.
they say planned or coming, and first it was 2020, then 2021, now 2022. But since there's no plan at this point in time, I guess we should take them out. So what we have is listed in the indoor one at Town Hall, the indoor one at COA, and the outdoor one at Bakersfield is what we have. Okay, aquaculture plastics grant. Do you have any update, Lydia?
Nope.
Okay. Bottle ban expansion and universal redemption law. Any updates?
No, not.
Package, okay. Packaging and reusable containers. Anything there?
I wish.
Yeah, I wanted to mention, Lydia, I saw somewhere that Meals on Wheels was doing a pilot project with reusable.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
But
and
where,
I can't remember where I saw that, but because
Was
they
it
use
a
they
different-
use the black trays, which are the worst.
was it a Wellfleet Meals on Wheels or Outer Cape?
No. No, it was yeah.
Yeah, Meals on Wheels, I don't know that program, if we have that in Wellfleet. I know
I
there's a
think we
couple.
did. Yeah, I think they prepare the meals at the COA, but it's a
Yeah.
different thing than the,
Marianne's
Understand.
Kitchen is, what's at the,
yeah. But Meals on Wheels, when I took an exercise class there, they were always for doing the Meals on Wheels prep.
Mhm,
Um,
good. So that's what it's still, they're still calling it that.
Well, I think it's a separate thing.
Okay,
Mary Ann's Cafe is something the COA does itself, and Meals on Wheels is just using their kitchen.
oh, okay, I got it.
That's my thinking, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's
I-
good. I'll look into it.
Yeah, but it wasn't Wellfleet. It was, I think more on a national level. They were
Oh,
trying
I
to
see.
look at.
Well, maybe they'd be willing to at least do the survey and
Mhm.
The Meals on Wheels people. in
Right.
Wellfleet, or distribute
Yeah.
the survey,
Uh-huh.
which I can update. Okay,
And then community cutlery, Library of Things. I haven't done anything, but a couple of us had talked about starting to take pictures, and maybe we can do that in February or March. So,
March would probably be better for me, Christine.
okay, let's wait till
Yes.
March. And Olivia, you'd expressed an interest in maybe helping with that at some point, but we can wait till March and see what people's availability is.
Sure.
Okay, great. Outreach materials, website and social media posts. Olivia did some updates. I can't remember what they were now, Olivia.
They were mostly the refill Cape Cod stuff. I updated
Right.
the composting with new pictures and with the flyer about it.
Right. Okay, great.
Good.
And then for Instagram, I did 4 posts this past month, one on the MLK cleanup, but I'd like to do a follow-up one about how much you collected. One on, in general, Recycle Smart MA, one on plastic packaging and produce, and I just did one on shredded paper. So if
Great.
anyone has any ideas for things that you want me to post, let me know.
Okay, I'll email you the AmeriCorps summary of the beach cleanup.
Okay, great.
And a picture they took of the group.
Okay.
They put, it was really nice. They put all these signs down on the beach, and you walk down there and you're like, trying to get your hat on, looking at reading fine print on signs, but it was very nicely done.
Well, that'd be great. Yeah, please send the picture. That'd be good.
Okay. Outreach, Chamber of Commerce newsletter, independent item or ad. Lydia, you had talked before about
Yeah.
maybe approaching the independent about.
Yeah, I
some-
didn't have a chance to do that yet, sorry.
Okay,
I'll
well, we'll
get to
keep it on there. Textile recycling guide.
I have that, I don't know if we can share the screen, but I've got that, the latest version of it.
Okay.
Um,
I think, can you try sharing and see?
Yeah, let me make sure I have it up on this thing first. Okay,
And then I guess, how do we want to distribute that?
well, we can print some at the library, a small number,
Mhm.
and it can go by email and PDF.
Mm,
I like that recycling sign with the
Yeah,
fabric.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Very good.
Found that
That's
online
very good.
somewhere.
Very good, very good. Thank you for
Oh,
Awesome.
you're very welcome.
Yeah, that's great.
How can
There's,
we, are you going to send it around?
yes,
Thank you. Maybe we can do our own printing of it possibly,
Mm.
sure.
pass it around more.
Is
Do it
there a
for summer.
second page, or is that page? not-
That's just some extra stuff down there, so
Oh, okay.
but it
alrighty.
would be a one-page thing.
Okay.
And one nice thing about these organizations that accept textiles to help in animal rescue efforts is they all have wish lists. So Wild Care has a wish list, and there's a link to it, and Animal Rescue League does, and Wellfleet Audubon does not, but maybe they will one day.
Mhm.
And so they put in the wish list things like what they want, like towels and whatnot, but also all kinds of other materials like leather gloves. So when they're dealing with animals that, might try and bite them or scratch them, they need
Mhm.
sturdy leather gloves. And there's a whole list of things that is helpful to them.
Great. And I just was going to suggest Mass Appeal, but I see you have that at the bottom. So that's
Yeah. Thank you for those recommendations. They accept, offer gently used clothing. And they might also accept some bedding at both places, but I think to keep it kind of separate.
Yeah, I've donated a lot of quilts and sheets and things to Mass Appeal.
Mhm.
This is for print?
This can go, I was wanting to print this out and put it in a few places like the COA or Adult Community Center.
Can I make a recommendation?
Sure.
It looks like you have some links there, like see
Yeah.
wish lists and things like that. Why don't you put the links to the websites? You don't really need to put the entire link for the wish list, but just the websites for each of these
Organization.
things underneath, since if it's printed, it won't be an active link.
Yeah. Okay. This
Yeah.
would probably be the one, yeah, that could be shared digitally, and then,
Right.
you mean to spell out the website name?
Right. You could just, you don't need the like www, but just the
Yeah,
name of it, .org, whatever.
yeah, and hopefully people will do the search themselves, they can search for wildcare, or, you know what I mean?
Where is
Yeah.
Carols for Turtles? Is there a place for that, or is that?
That would be Audubon, wouldn't it?
That's Mass
That's
Audubon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that should be put on.
Yeah, maybe clarify that, because if you don't know that.
Okay, so
And
Carol's,
maybe also add seasonally, because they don't want to keep them all year. They don't have any place to store them. Oh, on the flight.
There you go.
Very
what was the
good.
other thing? Oh, this is Audubon.
Mass
But
Audubon.
the other ones, except they're not so much dealing with turtles though, right? So it's-
Right. Great. So we could do, I mean, some options are to send it, do an e-blast. We have a credit for an e-blast with the Chamber of Commerce.
Mhm.
So we could do that. And we could, sometimes the forum will send it out to their email list. We could ask them,
Okay.
the Wellfleet Forum,
So Chamber-
although that's usually more civic events, but we
They
could
are
also,
having a state of the town coming up February 16th.
mhm,
And we can make an announcement at that or something. That's actually a good place to make announcements. When it was in person, they used to have a short period of time, just like the select board does, to make an announcement. I'm gonna keep that in mind.
and when did you say that was, the 15th,
February 16,
16th? Okay,
and it's all on Zoom.
right,
It's a state of the town, so we'll be hearing from the town administration.
yeah. Maybe we could, well, we should definitely send it or include it on the DPW page.
Mhm.
Or Olivia, what you're doing with the map and stuff, would this be something you could incorporate into that, or? You're muted.
Textile trailers on the map, and then we could, I'm still waiting for Mike to give me their nice version of the map, but I don't know if there's going to be able to be links, but the textile trailer is definitely on there.
Right, yeah. We could see if Mike can add this to the webpage too.
I mean, I definitely think it's worth having its own thing on top, you can add it in the webpage, maybe feature it for a while on the homepage, since it's going to be new and exciting.
Right.
And then maybe have its own drop down.
Do you mean on our webpage?
Yes.
Yes, for sure. Okay.
And am I allowed to put these things up on Instagram since they're referring to other organizations? Is that, I know with businesses, we've had an issue before.
Well, these are nonprofits, and it's a public service announcement kind of thing.
Okay, so what I might do is break it up, like take, different parts of that flyer and do them as individual posts and kind of call them out individually.
Sure.
Okay, great. So Lydia, will you be sending that around?
Yep.
Okay, great.
And does the PDF version of it, do the links work in the PDF version?
I don't know. I haven't tested it, but we can
Okay.
test it.
Yeah, I think they usually do, but when we upload it to the webpage, they don't always. There's something.
Yeah, Lydia, I need a refresher on uploading PDFs. I failed at that this past month. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but we can do
Okay, I
that.
can help you with that. I'll call you or text you.
Thank you.
Can whoever is not talking mute, because we're getting some feedback. I'm not sure what it is, who it is. Okay, so we talked about Chamber of Commerce, Wellfleet Forum, State of the Town, just to talk about it, to put it on our website and Instagram.
These go on the Facebook community page too. I know that's a dumb question.
That's what I was gonna, would you be willing to do that, Nancy?
You know what, Farid will do it, because I'm not on
Okay.
Facebook, but he can do
Okay.
that easily, so.
Okay,
So put the flyer on that, okay.
yeah, once Lydia has it set and she'll send it out.
Okay. And do we put the compost, the other flyers we had for composting? If they're not up, should I have him put those up? on the community page too?
We should probably look at which ones you mean, ones that we have on our website, you mean?
Yeah, the ones we were discussing like a month ago, like at the last meeting.
Maybe we should do that more a little later in the spring when it's more garden time. Do a
Okay.
whole
We've
feature.
had on the community page a bunch about composting during
Right
the
now?
fall storm, especially
Yeah.
we reposted some of the stuff, I know.
And I've put stuff up there too.
Okay, good.
Good.
Nice dog.
It's so nice to have a dog at the meeting. Thanks for joining us.
She's
This is
good.
Willow, or is this
Yeah,
another
it's
dog?
Willow.
Yeah. Okay, and then the last thing, Discovery Map ad, we already talked about. I think, let me see if there's anything on the other page. Yes, there is. Compost in the news. Any future concerns? Minutes?
I do have a calendar item thing,
Okay,
which is, I looked at it earlier, and in the spring, in March, the harbor master sends out by email his renewals. So it's an opportunity to maybe include some information about boating, recycling, and I looked
Okay.
online, there was something, like cleaning products for your boat that are non-toxic, things like that. We could
oh,
maybe
that'd be great.
suggest some things, put something together for that.
Okay, so we should probably put that in February then to prepare it.
Yeah,
Can
this
we
month,
put
and then
that
talk about
oil?
it in the first meeting in March.
I think that the boats, when they, I don't know if they do it in the fall when they pull them out of the water or in the spring, but they have to dump their gasoline. Apparently the boat gasoline doesn't keep,
Oh,
so I don't know when they clear it out, but maybe something about the hazardous waste day, or how to properly dispose of that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
They have a place in particular to dump this gas.
They must, yeah, it must go into a tank.
Yeah, well, I know at the hazardous waste disposal days, they take the gas. That's the correct time to get rid of it at the
Oh, okay.
station.
good, because I have some in my shed. Do you know if the dates for 22 have come out?
I haven't
It's,
seen
some-
them. That's a good question. It should be any day now because they're usually way ahead.
Okay.
Look that up.
And Nancy, do we have minutes to review? I don't remember. You need to unmute.
Yes, I sent them out in January, right after the meeting.
Okay.
If I open them up, will everybody be able to see them? Will I be able to share them?
You can, are you still shared? No, you're no longer shared. Yes. You have
You know
to
what
do a share screen.
I can just share it with you, Christine, and you can put it up. Let me open it.
Well, once you share it, you mean share it like email it to me? Or
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Yeah, well, I probably have it then if it's in the email.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, I didn't review it, but I know that Lydia did because I was
Yeah.
out of town.
Let me see if I can. I think, did I do it through Google Doc? Give me a minute here.
So on January 4th, I see one. Let me see if let me open it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, alrighty. I have it, so I can, I will share it. People can see it. It's small.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go. All righty. So has anybody had a chance to look through it?
I
My
did.
memory, yes, my memory is I did.
Okay.
read these. Yeah, I
All
think that's fine.
righty. And I think that I did at some point, so I am willing to vote on it. Anybody else?
Yeah, I checked it out too. I didn't spot anything, so.
I did
Okay.
too. It's a long time ago, yeah.
Alrighty, okay. Anybody want to make a motion to
Yeah, I
accept
could.
it?
I would accept it.
Can you make a motion to,
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
I second the motion.
Second,
I'm gonna unshare it so I can see you.
I
Does
second.
everybody in favor? Oh, Jane
Yeah.
seconded, okay.
Yeah.
Everybody in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6-0. Accounting report. I also have an accounting report that I can share. And we need to start spending some money.
Oh,
So can you see this accounting report?
Yeah.
Our gift fund balances are the same. We haven't spent any money out of those. So this shows that we have $1,309 that we can use to for printing or purchases or whatever we want to do between now and June 30th.
It is a lot of money to spend.
Yes, and it goes away, so.
Right.
oh, you mean we have to spend it or lose it?
Yep, it's our yearly operating budget and it goes back into the
How
general
long, how
fund
long do we have to spend it then?
until the end of June.
Oh, okay.
Would it,
Oh, sorry, Community Cutlery Library of Things. You had talked about getting some receptacles for the silverware.
Mhm.
Is that something, have you identified those? And is that something that the library is paying for?
Well, that's a good question. I have not broached the subject that we started discussing with them about since COVID, but we could start having that discussion at some point.
I'd like
And I
to-
don't know if they have a budget for it, but I could definitely approach the Friends of the Library about that as well, funding some of it.
Yeah, but you want-
Yes, we could get, other things that we might get for that program include another fusti of a different size,
Mhm.
a tent. I know that there was maybe on offer a tent from another from a Wellfleet.
Yeah.
nonprofit, But
Well, I talked to the pantry and they want to keep theirs.
yeah, I think we should get our own.
Okay,
Mm.
you mean like a
Yes.
shade tent that people can borrow it for events?
Yeah, and that we could use too at some of the road race or here and there. That's
Right.
Yes,
handy
very
to
good.
have.
Mhm.
And then we could also invest in maybe getting a sign, a Wellfleet Recycling Committee sign a banner that we can put up when we're at an outdoor event.
Mhm.
it's a
Those
good
are-
idea.
Available.
Yeah.
We could get a couple different formats, one like really long one and then one more that's vertical.
Right.
So those things that would cut into the.
Yeah.
We can also, so we have 10 aprons, but it would be nice to get them. We can do it after the fact, I think. The person in Provincetown who you know, Lydia, that does printing, can they?
Oh, that was the person I think that did the boomerang bags printing.
Right.
The boomerang
Yeah.
bags labels.
Uh-huh.
I can ask Erica about that person.
Yeah, because that would be nice to have. Well, it'd be nice to have one for everybody with their name on it, but name tags also, some more permanent name tags that,
Uh-huh,
like the boomerang bag ones that Erica did.
uh-huh.
Not as creative as hers, I'm sure, but
those
if
are
we could
great,
have some
yeah.
kind of reusable pin on or hang around your neck name tags for us when we do events, would be
Okay.
nice.
I have an inquiry, this would be futuristic, but say we're getting very close to June and there's still a bit of a chunk left. Is it allowable to donate to wherever we
ourselves?
want? What is left?
Yeah, I don't
We
know.
can- We can definitely donate. Are you suggesting we donate to ourselves and put it in our gift fund?
I hadn't thought of that.
I don't know if we can.
Yeah, but I didn't know.
I doubt you can do that. I
Well,
can
I
ask.
didn't, no, I didn't think about that. All I was thinking randomly that if June's coming, there is money there and there's no time to spend it on anything. Is it permissible to just donate somewhere wherever we feel it would be useful? I have
Oh, I
nothing in
yeah.
mind, just the question.
I think that we can do whatever we want with it.
Oh,
I don't
We're
know
not
if
in-
we can. I think we should ask about that because
Yeah, we definitely can ask.
yeah, I think it would be good.
Jane?
I have a suggestion of something that we might spend it on. I remember I missed the last beach clean, but the last one I was on, which I think was also with other groups, we did spend an inordinate amount of time sorting things out. And it occurred to me if we had more receptacles, that we would do a much more efficient job at that point of the cleanup.
Where
have-
would we store them?
We were doing it at Duck, it was a Duck Harbor one.
Yes, that was the one that we did in October last year. Was it
Yeah, October
last year or
sounds about
this
right.
year? It was this year, wasn't it, Lydia?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that was just on planning. We have all of our 5-gallon green compost buckets. So we could have brought
Well,
those.
these were sort of, I don't know how to describe them. They were,
you want a
They-
fish
they
tote,
s-
yeah.
they were like bathtubs in a way, baby bathtubs or something. But it was, we were, it seems to me, moving piles of stuff to another pile of stuff instead of putting it
In
in a
where it went,
container.
yes.
Yes, it was
I
just,
heard it-
I remember thinking at the time, we need more of those things.
I have a bunch of them. They're really large. They're from the town of Sandwich.
Okay,
And they're bins, like big plastic bins. And there's also fish totes around. I think that's what you were talking about. Jane.
okay, could be that. Yeah, could be that.
I don't
Oh,
know
the
about buying
big, oh,
those.
yeah,
'cause-
the big black. We found one big black fish tote. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are a good size because different people can throw stuff in.
Sometimes they
okay.
already have a rope attached and so you can drag them around.
Right.
But I think we have some of those and they are always showing up at the dump and I don't know about buying them.
Okay, so we don't have to spend money on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think that, as we start doing photographing things in March for community cutlery, we'll probably have a much better idea of what we need in terms of equipment to be able to put things into kits and,
Yeah.
what we need more of. And
Yeah, you could even say if you wanted to have, say, a wooden receptacle, a wooden tray for the cutlery or what have
Right.
you, with a lid. You could find out if someone could even make that kind of thing, or there's
Mhm.
that store, I think it's in Chatham, that makes pine boxes and all
Mhm.
that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a suggestion.
Mhm.
Um,
One thing that would be very nice to have would be our own shed to store things in. Like I know there's no room in the library parking lot, but that would be very helpful because it's now spread between library and transfer station.
Yeah, well, they're open different times, the transfer station's open on the weekend, the library also, but
Mhm.
no.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we don't have to solve it today, but now we know what we got. Was there any correspondence? Any emails, Lydia, that you were aware of?
Not that I can recall. I can.
Okay. Alrighty, our next meeting is on March 4th,
First.
1st. You're right. I don't know why I had March 4th, because I remember saying, oh yeah, it's a first again, 2 months in a row. Okay, March 1st, 2022.
February does that to you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody, for attending.
Yeah, good meeting.
Yeah, enjoy the
Thank you,
snow.
Thank you.
Olivia, for your dogs. Olivia, thank you for your dogs.
Yeah.
Always happy to participate. They are
Great.
All righty, take care, everyone.
Bye now.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Well.
Sure.